And we're live. Welcome to the Naked Parent Podcast. My name's Chad Ratliff, and we have the pleasure of being with Erica Taylor today, who's married with 2 kids. She has a girl and a boy, a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old named Sydney and Benjamin. Benjamin has autism and ADHD. He was diagnosed 2 years ago, and it's been quite the journey, but worth it. In her words, she's a special education professional and has been familiar with special needs. And we're grateful to have you. Welcome, Erica.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So you sent through a favorite quote of yours. No one can make you inferior without your consent. I love that.
Yes, I was watching this movie called The Princess Diaries, and they quoted that. I loved it ever since.
It means we get to choose how life's going to be, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, sometimes I make the wrong choice. It seems like, because sometimes it doesn't feel that way. But I love when I do feel empowered by being able to make those choices. I think it's so awesome. And it's so difficult if you're not empowered, if you don't feel that empowerment. So can you tell me a little bit about Benjamin and when you first noticed maybe something was different or not going the way you thought it was supposed to?
Well, up until he was about 10 months, he did everything the typical child would do. So right at 10 months, he started not trying to walk anymore. He wasn't talking anymore. Just everything totally reversed backwards. And I was very concerned about it. And, I talked to a few family friends, and I had a coworker of mine that her son went through something similar to what Benjamin was going through. And, they basically encouraged me to get him, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. I'm trying to find the right word.
Early intervention?
Yeah, evaluated. So that's what I did, and come to find out, he couldn't hear in his left ear because of the drainage, and it caused his equilibrium to be off. So that's why he wasn't trying to walk anymore. And a little after that, we found out he had speech issues. So we had to find him a speech therapist and a physical therapist, to help him with his walking. And we ended up evaluating him for autism. And in my heart, I knew that he had it, but at the same time, as a mother, that's the last thing you want to hear. Your son has this diagnosis. But we did have him evaluated in July of 2019. And that's when we found out that he had ADHD also, with the autism. And it was a tough pill to swallow. I actually cried for an hour like a baby, because I thought at first this was some type of punishment. I did something wrong, because it was a difficult pregnancy with him. And I was blaming myself, but my friend was talking to me, and she told me sometimes you can have the best pregnancy and your child can still come out with a disability. So it's nothing that you did. Right. It just happens. And after that, I just learned to embrace him the way he is and love him. It's not always easy, but someone has to do it.
No. Were you special education professional prior or before having Benjamin?
Yes, I was a paraprofessional before I had him. So I had a little bit of insight on working with, kids with disabilities. However, I never really worked with a child that had autism. I mean, I've been around a few, but I didn't really get, thoroughly educated until I had my son. And then, it's different, when you're looking on the outside versus on the inside. So I really learned through having Benjamin. I learned patience, acceptance. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Our greatest teachers, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So you cried like a baby. How did it go from there? I mean, day 2, day 3, month 1. I mean, are you still trying to figure this out or figure out what's going on?
it's in between. I got better with time, but it's still some things that comes up and I don't really know how to deal with them. So I reach out to people that had more experience than I did. I pray.
How about emotionally though? Were you able to let go of some of that initial? I mean, did you feel angry? Did you feel sad? Both.
I felt angry with myself because even though, people kept telling me it wasn't my fault, as a mother, you're still going to feel like you're at fault. Even
That's
today,
hard.
sometimes I still blame myself. What could I have done different?
That's hard.
It is. It's very hard.
That's hard.
It's very hard, especially when you're in the public eye and you meet people that are not very, educated, on dealing with a child that has autism, and your child has a meltdown. Everybody's looking at you like, okay, what's wrong with this person? What's wrong with this child? I even had an incident one time at a post office, and this lady had the nerve to say a belt will solve everything.
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Well, I feel for you there. Is there anything that you wish you knew then that you know now?
Well, not to stress yourself out so much and realize you got to take it, a day at a time. And at the end of the day, they're a child. Some situations they don't know any better, and some they do. You just got to be patient. Just got to accept them for the way they are. And they didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask to come here with this diagnosis. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. And you just got to put your big girl panties on and do what you got to do.
Yeah. Yes. I identify so much. Is there a moment that stands out that was like one of the worst moments on the journey so far?
Yes, it was. There's plenty of them, actually.
You have one in mind?
One was when my son, he was trying to go outside, and I didn't realize that he knew how to unlock the door by himself. And he went out the door, and I was scared. Of course, I went after him, but that was like one of the moments I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, what I'm supposed to do?
Is he running or does he walk? Does he? Yeah.
He ran, but luckily the dog, our family dog, came out there with us while we were getting him, and he led him to the garage, and my son had the common sense to follow him instead of going in the street. So that was a relief.
Wow. Is it a service dog or just fan?
No, it's just a family dog, but he has a strong attachment to Benjamin since the first day we got him. He took to Benjamin. That's his favorite person out of everybody in the family.
Really? That's awesome. Does Benjamin have an affinity to your dog?
Yeah, yeah, I would say so.
He's drawn to the dog or feels a special connection?
I would say so. I would. After all, they say best friends.
I think it's amazing that there's so much to understand and so much that I don't understand between animals and humans, special needs. But there's some amazing stories out there, and so I hope that they have a nice bond that benefits both of them. Think of an aha moment that you've had on your parenting journey up until this point, like something that you finally figured out for yourself that made things better, or?
Well, it was a moment that I realized my son was a big flirt.
Really?
And all hope was lost because, like I said, at first I wasn't really educated on dealing with a child that had autism. Of course, I've been around a few, but like I said, it's different when you have your own child. And at first, I was thinking that, my son didn't really know anything. He wasn't aware of anything. But my husband and I, we took him to Walmart one day, and one of the workers came over to talk to him, and she was just talking about, oh, he's so cute, he's so precious. Then out of nowhere, he just gets happy and he grabs her chest and he's like,
Oh
and
my
my
God.
husband, yes, we were so embarrassed. And we're telling the lady, oh, ma'am, we're so sorry. We're so sorry. She said, it's okay. He didn't know what he was doing. And my husband and I looked at each other and we said, oh, he know what he's doing.
Wow.
That was an aha moment, because sometimes
Yeah.
when there's a lot of people think that the kids don't know what they're doing, and sometimes they know what they're doing. They actually have more sense than what people think they do. You just got to pay attention to them.
Yeah. I have that issue in my own family. I got two kids with special needs, and my son is nonverbal, and it's hard to know what he understands and what he doesn't.
Yes.
And one time they sent home a video from school with him doing some things that I didn't know he was capable of doing.
Yes.
And so I went, as soon as I saw that video, as soon as he got home from school, I went to him and I said, I am sorry for anything I ever said while you were in the room thinking you didn't, thinking that you didn't know what I was saying. I want to apologize.
Yes.
Because it's hard to know. Did your son, did you feel like he had a regression at 10 months? Or did you say he was developing, and then at 10 months, did something happen where you felt like it was a regression, or not so much?
Yes, I felt like he reverted back to not doing anything. Like I said, at first he was doing the same things my daughter was at that age. He was crawling. He was saying mama, dada, doing the normal things that, babies at the age would do. And I don't know, just one day out of nowhere, it just stopped. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't talking. He wasn't trying to walk. Nothing.
Wow. I had a similar experience, and that's a very lonely, confusing, emotional situation. So I empathize. What are you working on with Benjamin today? What are you most excited about, moving forward?
Well, like I said, he's still in therapy. He does receive ABA therapy as well. And we're working together to get him to be able to be more independent, do a lot of things for himself. One of the major things we're working on is the communication, being able to tell, us, his mom and dad or his teachers what he wants, or if something's, going on with him, something's bothering him. We're doing things like that. We're working on toilet training. We actually have him in flag football. So he does. Yes, so he does play sports.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah,
how's that going?
It's going okay. For the most part, he doesn't run with the football or anything like that. For the most part, he just chases the other kids around, the field and try to pull off their flag, which is what he's supposed to do.
Right.
So for the most part, it's going well. He actually got the award yesterday for sportsmanship.
Oh, awesome.
They gave him a medal and a yard sign.
That's awesome.
Yes.
How is he with his peers socially?
Well, socially, he's not there yet. For the most part, he likes to be by himself. You give him a toy, he'll go sit in the corner and he'll play by himself, and he's happy. He doesn't have to be around other kids to be happy. But I would like him to have some friends. That would be nice, but he doesn't seem to really care about that right now.
Okay. And is it awkward when he's with his peers, or he just prefers not to be with them?
He doesn't even give them the time of day, to be honest with you. He can sit there with a group of kids and he'll turn to himself and play with a toy. He won't even really acknowledge them.
Okay.
Unless you force him to be your friend, and that's a different story. But other than that, she forces him to be her friend.
And he puts up with it, or he just stays to himself again.
Both. It depends on
Really?
how he's feeling that day. They have like a love-hate relationship. Like some days he'll be bothered with her and some days he won't. But he's not gonna let anyone pick on her.
That's awesome.
Yes. He can tell if someone's messing with his sister and he'll come to her aid. Even if I'm reprimanding her for something she's done wrong, he's gonna run up to me and give me that look.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really
Yes.
special. And then how does she feel about him?
Well, it's a mixture of, being jealous sometimes, but she loves him at the same time. She's not really at that age right now where, her maturity level is where it needs to be, where she's understanding of what he has going on. So some days she feels like he's getting more attention than her. And I have to let her know, I have to give him a little bit more attention because you're more independent. You can do more things for yourself. Benjamin, he's not at that level yet. So we have to help him. But I love you just as much as I love Benjamin. And
That's
so,
tough. I mean, that's tough to, as a
yeah,
young child, to understand.
she tries to take on that big sister role, though. She really
She
does.
does. That's cute.
Yes, she's very protective of him as well, especially when it comes to the girls. He's a ladies' man.
That's so funny. I love the sibling, the sibling involvement. I feel like it gives our children so much more sometimes to have, those the true family, going to be there for you, going to put up with you or whatever. I felt blessed in my own life to have for my son and daughter to have siblings. So, are you? How about for you? Are you doing anything to take care of you?
I'm getting there. I'm trying to, slowly but surely. Right now is all about Benjamin. I'm just trying to make sure that he has everything he needs and he's properly taken care of.
So what about, stress, overwhelm? You get to your limits. Are you a patient person in general?
Well, I've been working with kids for almost 6 years, so yeah, I have a lot of patience. And I love children. But I have those days where, sometimes I get very frustrated and I'm wondering, okay, am I doing this right? And I reach out to people. I have a good support system. I have a few good friends. I reach out to my parents and I reach out to some of my friends from Kingdom Hall and I talk to them. I even see a therapist.
Yeah. But no, are you, do you take time out for hobbies or exercise or things that, take care of you, or not so much?
Yes, when I get a chance. Sometimes it's really hard to because my schedule is very demanding because my daughter, she's in sports as well. And she has, her appointments that she has to go to. And Benjamin, he has speech therapy. He has behavioral therapy. He has physical therapy. He has occupational therapy. Yeah. And then he plays football. So I have to, basically schedule the things I need to do around my kids. So whenever I get some free time, I do. And when my husband comes home from work, he'll take the kids for an hour or two and I'm able to, lay down and rest or walk the dog around the neighborhood by myself.
Well, your kids sound like they have a great mom. They're lucky to have somebody who puts so much love and support into them. So you should be proud of yourself for that.
Thank you. I try my best. Some days I don't think I'm doing my best, but other people tell me otherwise.
So I got some. We'll do kind of a lightning round with a few questions. You can give like a 1 word or 1 sentence answer, and you up for it?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's the best advice you have received?
Is to understand that everything wasn't done in one day. Even God took a break. And to know that you're not perfect. You're going to make your mistakes, but you just got to get back up and keep trying.
I like it. Share a personal habit that contributes to your success.
Before I start my day, I always pray with my kids.
I love
Yes,
that.
I pray for understanding. I pray for patience. I pray for Jehovah God to lead me in the right direction. All of that.
I love that. What a special experience for you and your kids to have together. Do you have a top resource or recommendation to share with other parents?
Um, Such as, can you give me some examples?
Like, like respite workers coming in to help you out, or a website or some kind of group that you go to with questions, or like a product that you've used that you really liked, or some technique to working with Benjamin on potty training that seemed to really work.
Um, well, potty training is still a bit difficult, but one of the things that I do use that does work with him, his occupational therapist told me to purchase a what you call it. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. I'm trying to remember the name of
Yeah,
it.
no problem.
It's a weighted vest. That's what it is, a weighted vest. So when he has his meltdowns, I just put it on him, and it feels like someone is hugging him, so it calms him down. Also, I have a sensory brush. So sometimes before his therapy, I'll take that and rub it up and down on his arms like that, and I'll do these different like movements on his arms just to calm him down and relax him.
Is it like a brush, like a literal brush, like with little?
Yeah, it's just a little brush.
And it just kind of gives him that feeling of like
Yes,
tingling,
yes, sir.
and he likes that.
Yes, he loves it. He loves it. But also, he has a sock that he likes to play with too. That calms him down because he's
Oh,
very
wow.
a sock, just a regular sock, and he'll pull the strings out of it. He's obsessed with strings, so I just kind of just let Benjamin do him.
Awesome. That's cool. That's cool. What's the next thing on your list to add for your individual well-being?
Take a vacation.
Any place in mind you got, or?
I would love to go to Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, Florida. I just took my kids near there because my parents live an hour north of Orlando, Florida.
Oh,
So I
okay.
took, yeah, so I just, and I actually left two of them there for 2 weeks. It's been the longest I've been away from them. So a little bittersweet, and I miss them.
I can understand the feeling. I would be the same way if my kids were away from me more than a day. I would cry.
There's so much to do there, though. That the stuff that they're telling me that they're doing. I mean, there's not a lot to do where I live so much, but there's just so much going on there.
Yeah, Universal Studios is really good. Islands of Adventure. I went there years ago when I was a teenager, and I always said I would go back again. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, there's Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, just Epcot. There's just all kinds of stuff. What's one thing you think would improve your life if you did it or had it? I think we froze for a second. Let's see if it comes loose. All right, I'll try and refresh, and we'll see if it comes back.
What just happened? I don't know what just happened.
What is this? You just a special day. Push.
What just happened? Went out.
Hey, hold on. Give you another second to see if you log back in. There you are. Hi.
Okay.
There you are.
Hello.
Yeah, well, obviously we'll be able to edit that before we submit it to the podcast networks. So
Yes, that works.
just part of how life rolls. But the last question I asked you, I don't know if you heard it, was what's one thing you think would improve your life if you did it or had it?
Not taking on so many things at one time. And just take it day by day. And not to pressure my son so much. But it's good to have expectations, but to make sure that, it's reachable and he doesn't feel, too pressured or overwhelmed.
I like that. I like that. And just, wrapping up, and I want to thank you for taking the time that you did today and sharing your journey. It helps me, it inspires me, it helps our listeners. And I feel like, the more we can all be in this together, the maybe the less lonely it feels, or the more joy or the more tips or tricks we can get. I like to be connected. That's why I created this podcast. But in closing, is there any guidance that you might share with Naked Parent Nation?
I would just say to all the other parents that are going through the same thing we're going through, just realize you're not alone. And to do research, you can always go online and, try to see if there's some support groups out there in your area. That's one thing I did. I didn't realize that there's a lot of parents out there that have a child that is on the spectrum.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is.
Some of the statistics are almost hard to believe. Like 1 in 60 kids that's born is, that's hard to comprehend.
Yes, it really is. And they said with autism, it happens with girls as well, but it happens more with the boys. They're more likely to get it versus the girls.
That's what I've heard as well. That's what I've heard as well. Well, like I said, I appreciate you taking the time today, and I'd love to, catch up maybe for another discussion in the future, just to kind of see where things have gone for you. And I wish you and your family all the best.
Thank you, and I wish the same for you and your family. I'm sorry I was so nervous today. I wish I could have gave a better interview. I was very nervous.
You know what you did? You did a perfect job. You really did. This is real life. This is real stuff. It's real hard sometimes, and we gotta experience joy as much as possible at the same time. So I wish you as much joy as you're able to take in your life. So thanks again, and have a great day.
You do the same. Thanks for having me.
All right, bye-bye.